How do you deal with like the mental side of horn playing when you've hit rock bottom and everyone basically telling you that you're rubbish? Like, how do you deal with that as a player, and how to like lead your section once you've done that?
Does anyone tell you you're rubbish?
Yeah.
No, but it
Well, there you go. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Never know. Sorry.
No.
I think it is a good question. I don't think in a professional situation you would be in a position where everybody was telling you that you're rubbish. I've definitely been in situations where it's been my day and you get the feeling that, okay, and I even sometimes say to my wife as I'm going in, I've just got a feeling today's going to be my day, and you can't play a note right for the whole day, and the conductor's just got it on you for the day, and everything you play, it's too loud, it's too quiet, it's too sharp, it's too flat, it's, you know, phrase to this note, no, you're breathing in the wrong place. And to be honest with you, for me personally, that's actually quite a motivator, because I find that being in that kind of environment, that kind of situation, is actually more likely to make me play well, because I'm not going to give the other people the satisfaction of believing the thing that they're saying now, and sort of enjoying the embarrassment of listening to 90 people sitting on stage listening to me play really well while the conductor tells me that I'm playing really badly, and I quite enjoy that. Because it's sort of funny, because the other 90 people in the room know that the conductor's just being an idiot. But I think the point behind that is relevant to what you're saying, which is that if somebody was actually using words out loud to tell me that I was doing badly, that would definitely be a spur for me to do even better. I wouldn't want to give that person the satisfaction of being right. And that's maybe a very personal thing for me. I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to hear what the other take is, because I'm sure that these two have both ended up on the wrong end of conductors from time to time as well. It just happens. That's part of the job. I've definitely been in situations where I've been made to feel uncomfortable by other people in the section that I was playing with, and you've just got to develop a thick skin and kind of do your own thing with integrity and do it as well as you possibly can, and eventually you'll find the place that's right for you, I would say.
Yeah, you know, the other day, was it last night when I was doing the class thing, I said about trying to become your own teacher. So when you're practicing something, you kind of really listen to how you've played and think, what would my teacher say, or what would I say if I was the teacher here? I think there's kind of that kind of attitude. If you know you've done a good job and you've played well, like you've really listened to what you've done, you're not just kind of mindlessly playing without really knowing what you're doing. But if you really listen to what you've done, you know you've done a good job, then you sort of have to let any nasty comments like that just go away. So you have to find that kind of confidence in yourself. And that doesn't mean then that you don't listen to those around you. Like if a kind colleague kind of says, look, are you okay? Like, has something happened? You know, sometimes people might do that kind of, is everything okay with you? Which is a kind of code for like, what are you doing? But if someone's just out to be mean, and you know deep down inside that you've done a good job, you just have to let those comments go. Because also the reverse of that, you can't build confidence just out of people telling you that you're good. You have to know that inside, and you have to be able to have that confidence without it being told to you all the time. Does that sort of make sense?
That's good, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm probably going to echo exactly what Elspeth just said, but I think maybe, and it's going to sound a bit cheesy, but the only person that matters is you. So if you think you've played well, then that's okay. It doesn't really matter what anyone else says. But you need sort of, I was talking to somebody else about this, and they were sort of, especially as a principal horn, you need to end up having this sort of willpower and, you know, spine of steel. So even when you are tired or whatever else is going on in your life or whatever it might be, that you still turn up on the day and people have bought tickets to a concert, you have to try and produce your best playing. Even if, like I say, everything's against you, you still have to try your hardest. So yeah, and I think that's also a difficult thing. This is probably a separate question, but when you practice as well, I think being musicians, it's easy that we sit in a room a lot of the time on our own, practicing and then going, oh, that's rubbish. No, it's still rubbish. Oh, no, that's crap. Oh no, I'll do that again. But then you have to sit in an orchestra and then try and change your internal dialogue and think, no, I can do this. No, this is fine. So I'd probably say that when you do practice, what we said before is trying to practice positivity, being like, no, this is good, rather than it's easy to focus on the negatives all the time. But yeah, so it's really just believing in yourself, being quite stubborn, I think, and just sort of saying, I will do this, it's going to be okay. Yeah, and most people aren't out to get you. Some are, not all.
Resilience, though, just to follow on what Tim was saying, resilience is a huge thing. Being able to bounce back is a real part of being a musician, I would say. And stubbornness, that's a massive thing. So going back to the breaks and getting into the profession, the move for me from student to freelancing just kind of happened by accident. The move from freelancing to getting a job, you have to do some applications and you have to do some auditions. I've got in a folder, which I sometimes show to my students when I'm feeling brave, all my rejection letters, all kept in one place. There's 21 of them. Now, if I'd given up at 20, I wouldn't be in this room now.
But I think that's one attribute that all horn players share, which is annoying sometimes, but they're stubborn.
Yeah.
And determined as well. If you really, I can't remember who I was saying this to the other day, but when I was a student, I used to go and watch the LSO all the time. So they were right next door in the Barbican, and we could get tickets for like £3 or something. And I used to sit in the audience feeling really almost like kind of weird angriness, but like this like, I want to do this so much, and sort of be watching the audience and think, I just need somebody to let me do this. I want to do it. And if you've got that inside you, then you're just going to be determined and you're going to find a way. If you don't feel that, it's going to be harder, or maybe try something else. But yeah, I think if you're that determined that you want to really do that, then if someone just says, if a conductor or somebody gives you a bit of a hard time, that's still in you. So, and the other thing about if conductors give you a bad time in the concert, there's not a lot they can do about it, because they can't stop the conductor and say, no, you need to play that faster or slower. If you're playing a solo, they can't actually do anything about it, and I quite like that as well. So in the rehearsals, like, yes, nod and do what they say, and then when it comes to the concert, just play it how you want to play it. I enjoy doing that.